Okay, this how-to video is going to share how to use the import and export IDF. So IDF is an MCAD format that most 3D mechanical tools support. It gives you a way to kind of translate data or transfer data from an MCAD system to an ECAD system and then back to the ECAD system once you've done some more work on it. So once your MCAD engineer has generated some data, he can export the IDF file, and then from inside PCB Editor we can use import MCAD IDF. I can then browse for the IDF file, and the choices are basically I can do a BDF file, an EMN file, or an out file. I've got an EMN file which comes from Pro Engineer. I can then import this directly in, and I get a warning about a layer, but in general you can see what's happened. So it's brought in the board outline, it's brought in a package keeping area, it's brought in any room information that's come from the MCAD file. I've got a keep out area on the bottom of the board, and I've got some keep out areas on the top of the board. So a good way to get all your MCAD data in, and once I've got that I can start working on my PCB. Now once I've obviously get to the board and I'm finished, there's my board. I actually want to start exporting some information back. So let's just turn everything off. We'll go to the geometry, we'll have the design outline. Maybe I want to turn on any keep out areas that I've got, so I can send this back to the MCAD engineer. We'll go to the geometry, we'll turn on maybe the component keep ins and keep outs, some assembly details, we'll add some text as well, assembly bottom. And maybe what I also want to include is maybe I want to start to send out the top pins and the bottom pins, so I can start to see some information on the components. Once I'm happy with that, I can then do an export MCAD IDF. You can then pick the specific format that you want. So I want the Pro Engineer based file, the different version. I have a filter option here to kind of filter items that I don't want to include, but I'm just going to include absolutely everything in this file. We'll click OK, and then we'll export. That then sends the file out. And then the MCAD engineer can then import the EMN file. It also generates a EMP file, which is kind of the library development file, and he can import that directly into his MCAD tool.